Hey, good morning, everybody. It is almost 11 o'clock on Tuesday, April 2nd, and I just wanted to pop in with some information, some updates. I did send out a message regarding the possible strike, so we don't really know anything concrete yet. If a strike were to take place, I wouldn't have access to CCP email or Canvas. So you wouldn't be hearing from me for the duration of the strike. You still have access to Canvas, though you might not see all the modules because they haven't been published. But you do have the syllabus, you have the textbook, you have the essay prompts. Little flying here. So you could move forward, if we're on strike, if the strike goes on, and when the strike ends, what would happen is we pick up where we left off and finish out the semester. I just want to draw everyone's attention. Here's our home page here. I did just post an announcement. Okay, so hopefully you get notifications when these announcements come up. So I just was saying, I finished grading the first essays. There were a few A's and B's, but mostly C's and D's, which is normal, right? So don't get discouraged. Don't feel, dejected if you've gotten C's or D's. Writing is a process, as I say here, right? So you can revise your essay. So please go look at the comments that I wrote on your essays themselves, on the little comment box to the side. Look at the rubric. It shows a breakdown, the areas, maybe that where you were needed some improvement. You can revise. You can revise. The revisions due a week after I graded the assignment. So check, see when your revision is due. If you have questions, please reach out. And just a reminder here: keep posting to the discussion boards. Keep doing any smaller assignments. A number of you didn't submit drafts of your thesis statement for essay 2. So you lost those points. So I want everyone to succeed. I want you to do these assignments, even if they're small, because they do add up, okay? And I don't want people to fall behind. So as the fist pumping baby says, we can do this, okay? So please reach out. Please continue to do discussion boards and assignments, and we will move forward together. We will succeed together. So when you so that's the announcement that I posted. Okay, going back to the home page. All right, so again, there's the announcement. So the course overview, I tend to minimize that. I don't know if there's a way to make it always minimized. The writing process, I'm sure people kind of looked through these. There's this video, what is a thesis statement, and then this is a very useful link, how to use sources, how to cite sources, integrate sources into your papers, right? So here we are, week 4, the overview. Again, a different handout on using sources. I do want to draw everyone's attention to this if you haven't looked at it yet. Okay, so it's real simple, just this little graphic. This is what the heading looks like for MLA. So for the last paper, we didn't talk about MLA. Now we're talking about MLA. All right, these are pretty standard default set sizes, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and then this ½ inch for the page number. So if you have questions with Microsoft Word, how to use Word and how to insert this, let me know. Okay, I can make a video showing people how to walk through that. Note that everything should be double spaced. Everything should be in Times New Roman and 12-point font. I think a few folks maybe slid in some like 14 and 16-point font. Way too big. Okay, 12-point Times New Roman, double space. That's pretty standard for all college and academic writing. So you start with your first name, then my name, Professor Scordia, then the course, English 101, and then the date. Okay, and then your paper should have a title of some kind. Okay, don't call it essay 2. Try to come up with something a little more creative. Don't bold it. Don't italicize it. Don't put it in quotes. Just center it. The only time you'd have to use quotes is if your title of your paper contained the title of a work of a piece of writing or something. So like if you were going to use the title of a short story or the title of an essay in your title, that would have to go in quotation marks. But for the most part, the titles of your papers, you're not going to be including the title of somebody else's work in your paper, right? So again, just center it, no bold, no italics, no underlining. And the whole thing, the whole paper, 12-point Times New Roman font, okay? And also don't forget to indent at your first paragraph. Okay, this little guy, right? This is giving us the page number. Okay, so it's your last name and the page number. And again, if you aren't sure how to do that in Microsoft Word, I can show you how. Just send me an email, send me a message. I'll make a video and I'll put it up. What else? Let's see. Can I click through here? I'm having some trouble. Okay. So other things in this week, and okay, we're at 5 minutes in this video, so I'm going to wrap up soon. The midterm exam, it is open. Okay, it opened yesterday. It closes tomorrow, Wednesday, April 3rd, okay, at 11:59 p.m. So it is worth 5% of the course grade, right? So you're writing a minimum 3-paragraph academic essay. So that means minimum of an intro, body, and conclusion. That's your 3 paragraphs. If you could do intro, 2 body paragraphs, conclusion, great. If you could do intro, 3 body paragraphs, and conclusion, great. But minimum, I need to see an introduction, well-developed, right? Not 2 sentences. Give me a well-developed introduction, okay? 4 or 5 sentences, 6 maybe. Paragraphs can be longer than maybe we think. A well-developed body paragraph, minimum, okay? 1 body paragraph, and then a well-developed conclusion. Again, full paragraphs, minimum 4 or 5 sentences. No 2 sentences. That doesn't make a paragraph, okay? So what are you doing in this? What is the prompt? It's right here. Okay, you're explaining to the reader, me, all right, your peers, a college audience, okay, what you believe is the biggest problem facing our society in terms of food policy. Okay, you are making a claim, something about food policy in, when we say our society, we're talking about in the U.S., right? We're gonna stick to you know, U.S. If we start looking at global issues, you're going to have to find different sources. So based on the essays in our book, they're dealing with the U.S. So we're going to stick with in our society is going to mean in the U.S. Make sure to support your point with evidence from at least 2 of the following essays. Okay, both of all of these are in our book. Okay, so Prudence or Cruelty by Christoph, Having It Our Way by Egan, and Eating Roadkill by Bueller. Okay, so you would have read those. You have to cite, meaning quote or summarize, right? You have to refer to at least 2 of them in your midterm essay, okay? When you begin typing, if you choose to type it in the box, because there's a text box, it's set up as a quiz, but you see it says you have 2 hours to complete it. So you don't want to start unless you're going to just type the whole thing out, you know, in the 2 hours. What I would suggest, because, you know, it's been open since yesterday, so you know it's there, you know it's due tomorrow. Hopefully you've been thinking about it. You've done the reading. And you've got some ideas. What is the biggest problem in the U.S. in terms of food policy? You could type it in Word, okay, and then paste it. So when you move forward and you take the quiz, okay, here's the text box, right? So you could just kind of start typing, okay, or like I said, you could have maybe started it yesterday, you're going to work on it a little bit today, you're going to finish it tomorrow, and you're going to upload it by the deadline tomorrow. You could always do that in Word and paste, okay? Don't worry about listing your works cited for this midterm essay. Again, you're citing at least 2 of these. You don't have to list them as a works cited, though. We're going to talk more about MLA works cited soon. For the essay that's due Sunday, you should have a works cited, okay? So let's see. So that's the midterm, okay? So we're going to go ahead back up here. There is a graded discussion this week. It's due Sunday, like all the discussion boards. Remember, your first post is due by Thursday. Earlier is better. And then you're commenting to at least 1 classmate by Sunday, but again, earlier is better. The course feedback, this is just a way for me to get some, well, you guys kind of you can earn like 5 points, like pretty easy, goes towards the quizzes. It's just asking some questions, you know, I'm trying to find out like what's working well, what I could change. So for example, is this the first time you're taking a class online? Just yes or no, and just kind of moving through. There's no right or wrong answers to any of these. Okay. And what else do we have this week? Okay, and then of course essay 2, which is due Sunday. So again, essay 1, if you didn't, you know, if you didn't get an A or B, you know, or a C, and you know you're disappointed, I understand that's like a natural feeling, but it's not indicative of how you're going to do with the rest of the course. The thing is to look at my comments. You know, if you got a D, you know, or you didn't pass, read my comments, ask me what I'm If you're not sure, ask me what I'm talking about. You know, if I say that there's an issue with your organization and development, if I tell you that you know, you need evidence to support your claim and you're not sure what that means, let me know, okay? And I can explain that. Here's the prompt, and look at the page length, right? They're getting longer because at the end of English 101, students are moving to English 102, where you write a very long paper. And in your other courses, you're going to be asked to write, you know, maybe 3 to 4, 4 to 5 page papers and longer. Okay, so we're looking at 3 to 4 pages, typed, double-spaced, 12-point, Times New Roman font, using an MLA heading, okay? And we're looking at, from the selections in our textbook, from how we work, we're looking at this idea of, again, how pop culture, because the whole theme is how popular culture affects our beliefs about different things, right? So how do we value or devalue different types of work, all right? So you're going to be using one of the essays to support your claim. Okay, and you're also, the second piece here is personal experience. Okay, you do get to use some personal experience. The thing is that the personal experience that you share should somehow speak to or be in response to the text. Okay, so they need to be connected. So you're quoting from one of the articles, one of the essays in our book. You're making that connection as well to something you've experienced. So it's a text to life connection. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. And so as you talk about your own experience, you're looking and you're telling your reader clearly, how do your experiences confirm or deny, or confirm or challenge, okay, what the writer said about work. So it's not, here's what the writer said, and here's me, and these two things aren't connected. You're showing your critical thinking, you're making that connection, okay? All right, this was a long one, 11 minutes. I try to keep them short. Email me if you have questions, message me on Canvas if you have questions. Don't forget to do the midterm. It's due tomorrow night. Don't forget to post this week's discussion board. Work on those essay twos. Make sure you hit your 3 to 4 pages. Use your MLA headings. Cite your sources. I think that's about it. You guys are doing great. Taking 101 in 7 weeks is a challenge. Taking it online in 7 weeks is yet another challenge. But you can do this. I know you're all juggling a lot, family, work, different responsibilities. Don't just disappear. Okay, don't disappear. You can do this. All right. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.